Hello friends, in the next few months we will be entering one of the most hidden and extraordinary streams of the world's mystical tradition, the Jewish Kabbalah. So much of its wisdom has remained unknown outside small circles, even though it speaks directly to the deepest questions of the human soul. In this series we will meet three luminous figures: Rabbi Isaac Luria, the Lion of Safed, whose vision of creation and human purpose still reverberates across centuries. The Baal Shem Tov, the master of the good name, who brought Kabbalah down from the heights into the hearts of ordinary people. And Moses de Leon, a 13th century Spanish rabbi, who revealed the Zohar, the Book of Splendor. He claimed he had copied it from an ancient manuscript found in a cave in Israel, said to be written by the 2nd century sage Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai. Whether hidden revelation or inspired composition, the Zohar became the very heart of Jewish mysticism, and the fountain from which all later Kabbalists drank. Each of these figures, in their own way, reveals truths that transcend the boundaries of religion and tradition. They speak to us as seekers today, showing that our inner work has cosmic meaning, that every moment conceals sparks of the divine, and that our brief journey through time is an invitation to awaken. We will begin with Rabbi Isaac Luria, the Ari, the Lion of Safed, one of the most luminous figures in Jewish mysticism. Though he lived only a short life in 16th century Galilee, his vision reshaped the spiritual landscape of Judaism and continues to offer profound guidance to seekers of every path. Luria's teaching begins with the mystery of creation itself. How could an infinite God, beyond all form and limit, make room for a finite world? He spoke of Tzimtzum, the divine contraction. The infinite withdrew, leaving a space in which creation could unfold. Into that space, God sent forth divine light, which entered vessels that could not contain it. The vessels shattered, and sparks of divine light were scattered throughout the cosmos, hidden in matter, in history, and in every human soul. This is not abstract theology. It is a map of our human condition. We live in a world of brokenness, yet within that brokenness lie sparks of the infinite, waiting to be lifted. For Rabbi Luria, the purpose of life is tikkun olam, the repair of the world. Every prayer with intention, every act of compassion, every moment of conscious presence gathers those sparks and restores what has been shattered. How close this is to the inner work of the fourth way. Gurdjieff taught us that every impression, if received consciously, nourishes the soul. Maurice Nicole reminded us that even our smallest inner efforts have cosmic significance. Rabbi Luria spoke in a different tongue, but of the same truth. Every impression, every moment holds a spark of God. Our task is to redeem it through remembrance, through struggle against mechanical reactions, through conscious labor and intentional suffering. At the heart of Luria's vision is the mystery of the Shekinah, the indwelling presence of God, spoken of in the feminine. She is the radiant companion who accompanies her children into exile. She shares their sorrow. She waits to be lifted through their prayers and deeds. She is the mother, the bride, the eternal beloved of the soul. This is one of the most moving aspects of Jewish mysticism. God not only transcends creation, but enters into its suffering. The Shekinah tells us that the divine presence is not far away, but near, walking with us through darkness, bearing our wounds, longing to be reunited with her source. Every act of compassion consoles her. Every blessing spoken with attention lifts her. Every moment of awakening draws her back toward the infinite light. And here we glimpse something universal. For the mystics of every tradition speak of the same reality. The divine feminine appears as Sophia in Christianity, as Shakti in Hinduism, as the beloved in Sufism. Different symbols, but the same truth, the indwelling presence of God as intimacy, receptivity, and love. This is why the true mystics cannot be confined to a box or contained by dogma. They are witnesses to a direct encounter with the eternal, what I call a quantum experience of consciousness. It transcends categories of religion. It speaks a language that all seekers can understand, because it describes a reality that we can all taste when we awaken. For Rabbi Luria, this awakening required preparation of the heart. Before prayer, he urged his disciples to purify their intention, to gather their wandering thoughts, to attune themselves to the higher. For the fourth way, this is self-remembering, the act of presence that gathers the fragments of our attention and opens us to the higher centers. Both paths tell us the same thing. Our inner work is not for ourselves alone. It is participation in the repair of the world. Luria's vision tells us that even our failures, even our wounds, contain sparks of divine light waiting to be lifted. The fourth way tells us that even our suffering, if borne consciously, can be transformed into energy for awakening. Together they give us hope. Nothing is wasted. No moment is meaningless. No effort is too small. And what is God in this vision? Not a distant monarch, but an infinite love who both transcends and indwells creation. A God who makes space for freedom, whose light flows through every particle of existence, who longs for union with the human heart. And what is our purpose in this brief journey through time? It is to awaken to that union, to sanctify the ordinary, to live as gatherers of sparks, to become vessels through which the Shekinah can shine in this world. My friends, this is the universal wisdom of the mystics. The language may differ, Kabbalah, Sufism, Christianity, the fourth way, but the essence is the same. God is both hidden and near. Brokenness conceals light, and our purpose is to awaken, to love, and to participate in the great work of restoration. Rabbi Isaac Luria, the Lion of Safed, still roars across the centuries, reminding us that our inner work has cosmic significance. When we remember ourselves, when we choose joy over despair, when we forgive, when we bless, sparks are lifted, vessels are mended, the Shekinah is comforted, and the world itself is healed. This is our calling. This is why we are here, to live so that every breath becomes holy, to labor so that the hidden light is revealed, to awaken so that God may be known, not as a distant idea, but as the very presence dwelling within us. And so we have heard the voice of Rabbi Isaac Luria, the Lion of Safed, calling us to participate in the great repair of the world, to gather the sparks of divine light hidden in the brokenness of our lives. But this was not the end of the story. In time, his mystical vision would descend from the mountaintop into the everyday life of ordinary people. Carried by a man of radiant compassion known as the Baal Shem Tov, the master of the good name. If Luria gave us the vast cosmology of creation and exile, the Baal Shem Tov gave us the way to live it in the marketplace, in the home, in the fields and forests. He took the currents of Kabbalah and wove them into a life of joy, of healing, of sanctifying every breath. And beyond them both lies Moses de Leon, also known as Moshe ben Shem Tov, who gave us the Zohar, the Book of Splendor. He claimed it carried the hidden voice of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, speaking from a cave in Israel across the centuries. Whatever its origin, the Zohar became the foundation of Kabbalah and the fountain from which both Luria and the Baal Shem Tov drank. In the months ahead, we will follow this lineage, the Zohar of Moses de Leon, Rabbi Isaac Luria, and the Baal Shem Tov, and see how it reveals to us, across centuries, a single truth: that God is near, that life itself is the sacred path, and that the task of every seeker is to awaken.